women are loyal to the dick they want to suck and nothing else.
Brilliantly and terribly.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
Cocked out and the suicide.
All right, it's August 21st, 2022. It's the dead of off season. And don't worry, folks. You know, once the season starts in a few weeks here, we'll be covering things that matter. But in the meantime, we got to talk about the hero's journey that former Raptors employee and current Yahoo Sports YouTuber Ben Carlos has been on in the last week or so, wanting people to take shots at him after confidently displaying his love and admiration of alpha male woman beater Andrew Tate on Twitter, then ultimately getting destroyed by like 400 of the biggest Raptors Twitter people, then deleting his account, coming back, posting a really weird apology, and using a Twitter burner to eventually stalk me and this very video. So who is Ben Carlos? You know, just like yours truly, Ben is a YouTuber, basketball YouTuber. But the difference is Ben is actually successful. He actually gets paid to do this. He interviews big names for a company that made $7.4 billion last year. I got $70 a month going on Patreon, and look, I'm a nobody in this. It's important to remember that. Ben also worked for the Raptors, the MLSE, and he's, taking pictures with Danny Green, and he's actually actively pitching stars like Scotty Barnes and Kevin Durant to work for him. So who is Andrew Tate?
Suicide, Kurt Cobain.
I didn't know who this guy was before this incident happened, and if there's anything Ben did to make my life worse, it was introducing me to this guy in the first place. You know, here's some fun facts. He got kicked off of Big Brother after being filmed on camera beating a woman. He has his own wizard. He says women bear responsibility for being raped. He dated Jordan Peterson's meat-addicted daughter, and like if your worldview and relationship with men goes back to Jordan Peterson, of course you're gonna date Andrew Tate, and I'm sure Jordan was like fucking through the roof about it. I'm just so happy that you're the one smashing my daughter. To Romania because it's easier to bribe cops and they have chiller sex laws, but despite that, still managed to get his house raided Mar-a-Lago style for human trafficking.
When they catch you, that's where the skill comes in, right? But I don't try that hard.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like changing the sheets and having a shower. That women are loyal to the dick they want to suck and nothing else. I have to convince her, I don't know what you're worried about some stupid bitch for. Why are you worried about some stupid hoe?
Andrew Tate is a top G.
So the girls who loved me and worked for me, my main girlfriends, they'd get probably around 20% of their money. I'd keep 80% of the money they made. So they basically worked for free. They worked for my love and attention.
Women are like wolves. If you want a wolf, you have to trap it. Keep it happy. Care for it. Feed it. Lovingly. The way an animal deserves to be loved.
So who is Ben within the YouTube world? You know, this is this is the only thing I could find that he's done. It's called Friends with Ben, which I assume is a play on Friends with Benefits. There's no particular theme or mission or like a topic that kind of ties it all together outside of having had one or multiple online or in real life interactions with Ben.
Literally our second ever conversation. We never met before. We literally started talking.
I said, Ben, but when did we meet? And I literally remember that like Google meeting at whatever agency that was.
To be in the presence of two of the most beautiful and hardworking people. Are you naturally a blonde? What was your first ever experience with weed like?
I think it sounds like you Googled me.
You know, it's unlisted. So how do we find ourselves in this clusterfuck in the first place? Well, Ben put out a tweet saying #free Andrew Tate, and then doubled down and said that Andrew Tate was a top G. Then made things even worse. Probably the worst thing you can do when you're backed into the corner on the internet is to take a shot, which ironically a lot of people did. We got a Twitter Spaces erupted. I didn't know what a Twitter Space was, but it's essentially, this one was like a big open air festival and everyone was involved. We got Athletic, we got The Score, we got Dishes and Dimes all representing, which led to Ben temporarily, I didn't know you could temporarily delete a Twitter account. I'm new to Twitter. This is all brand new to me. And I put out a little thing being like, oh, this would be funny to make a video about, and this single tweet has kept Ben up at night for the last 2 weeks, and he's starting to kind of lose it. This is, not my first video about Yahoo, and my last one, it ruined my budding parasocial relationship with Will, and this video isn't going to make me any friends either. Ben and this dude, Amit Man, are the guys who replaced Will and Alex over at Yahoo, and I can't imagine the bosses over there were too happy about the Tate tweets. And look, I've only been doing this for 9 months, so I've been trying to learn, how to be a content creator, and I listened back to a pod that Will and Alex did on
Steven.
All about finding your voice in media.
I think it's also just like working in media as well. Like I definitely had multiple conversations with my supervisors about sort of the way I was tweeting and what I was tweeting and the tone and stuff like that. And there was no official guideline. There was no official like here are the rules. You can do this. You can't do this. But there was definitely conversations that I had to sort of tone things down.
So if Will Lou is crossing lines on social media, I'm sure Ben had a little sit down. I mean, Yahoo even censors their own fucking memes. So no wonder Ben has this insatiable urge to be edgy. In Ben's apology, he says he loves his mother and the women in his life. And I mean, what a great forum to relay that info on. It's very heartwarming. It's very sweet. But this is where things get really weird. When Nat Cassie showed up. A Twitter account with a photo of just kind of a stereotypical hot blonde girl.
Are you naturally a blonde?
With no followers and just only tweets about one specific topic. And is just obsessed with this one specific topic that is Ben Carlos versus Raptors Twitter. And it's the only thing this account has ever tweeted about. And they keep asking questions about the video that I talked about making. And they keep pointing me to Ben's apology. I'm the only account it's following. Oh my god, dude. It's fucking Ben. It's fucking Ben. And one burner is cool, but hey, why not do two, Colangelo style? And, just keep pointing me towards that apology. And we have no hot girls on this one, only vibes. Shit, maybe he could work with Katie with all of these burners. I don't know Ben's family or what happened in Ben's early life that led him to be stimulated by a guy like Andrew Tate, but even the bald dude from Fresh and Fit knew about Freudian psychology and was actually insightful enough to ask Andrew, like, how did you get all these super cool and interesting views about women in life?
So my dad was an exceptional character, and he raised me in an exceptional manner. My dad would disappear to chess tournaments for 2 months. He walks in the door, my mom's like, Emery, where you been? It's been 2 months. I don't know where you've been. What is this? I've gone through your clothes. There's a picture of some bitch in your da-da-da. And my dad had been home for 42 minutes, and he'd just go, sorry, son, she won't shut up. Walked out again. Oh. That's just who he was. He's like, I ain't sitting there taking shit off a bitch. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. I was just raised by the OG. My dad was a G. Like if I watched Batman and I go to my dad and say, hey, do you see what Batman did? My dad would sit me down and go, fuck that. Listen to what I've done. Father was fantastic at was prioritizing the mindset of my brother and I. My brother and the gang sipping in the house with me. Because there's so many dudes who end up being cucked out in their own household because they don't want to argue with the wife. I'm lucky to live with my brother. My brother and the gang sipping in the house with me.
Howling at the moon. It's suggestive to women because of howling during sex.
Okay.
Oh!
That's not appropriate.
Oh!
Uncool. Uncool, Dwight.